Welcome back again. So for this session, I would like to present you Augusto Evangelisti. He works as a consultant for different organizations, and he has experience in software testing for more than 20 years. And today he will present us some challenges on delivery testing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys, and welcome. Please come in, please come in. Don't be shy. I know, I understand this is the most difficult session. It's after lunch when people go into a dark room with the full belly and they start to nod off. Please don't do that to me because that would be heartbreaking. Are you going to break my heart? Are you going to sleep while I talk to you? Good, good, I like it. Yeah. That's what you show? Okay, so, okay. Okay. So let's give some time to the last arrivals. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. Was good? Yeah?
How about yours?
Mine was very good. Actually, a beef, and there was this pickles in there. They actually fit very well. Excellent. Okay, guys. So, first of all, I'm going to have to say something in Lithuanian that I don't know how to say because I cannot say it anymore. I'll tell you later. Okay, it was me saying, good morning, Vilnius. I'll say it in English now for the moment. So, let's talk about shifting left, shifting right, and improving the center. First of all, why should you listen to me? Well, you're free not to listen to, it's perfectly fine. But the reason why I am talking to you today is that I've been working in technology for well over 20 years, and no matter how young I look like a 20-year-old, I know. But unfortunately, I am older than I look, and unfortunately, with that comes experience that I gained in this over 20 years working in technology. While working in technology, I like trying new things. I like changing. I like improving. I like learning new things. So I happen to do basically every possible role that there is in software delivery. And so I started as a system engineer. I was looking at networks and trying, when the networks were still barely networks. Then I started working as a developer. I was a developer working for quite a bit. Then I moved into was software developer engineer in testing. That was how Microsoft, back then in 2001, started calling, we have another Microsoft T there, probably, started calling the testers, right? They wanted everybody to write automation, so I was a software development engineer in test. Then after that, I worked as a test manager, I worked as a product manager, I worked as a business analyst, I worked as a project manager, and lately, I've been working as an agile and lean coach for the last 4 or 5 years. And what I noticed is that the testers get really affected by some changes that have been coming for quite a while now, with the say agile revolution or the lean approach. And testers sometimes pay the price for transformations that are not run with people in mind, and they're run only maybe to pay lip service to agile, or just because we think it's cool to do it. And as I've been one of those testers that was starting to hate his job because we were doing agile, I now understand how painful it is for some testers to adapt to new circumstances, and that's why I'm trying to help. Okay, so when I think about this specific talk, sorry. After finishing in one customer I worked for a good while, let's say 4 years more or less, we were, and I will be talking about this case today for a large part of my presentation, we implemented, we transformed the organization into an agile organization. We introduced many lean principles, and we managed to introduce continuous delivery to very good results. So what I wanted to do was, let me share through my blog, that I blog quite often, let me share my experience and what we learn, how testers had to adapted, improved, changed during this transformation. And I published this blog in August blog, like I do now. Lately I haven't been blogging much, but I do quite often. And I got a lot of feedback. In here I was saying what we were doing, how testers were acting, what testers were doing. And I got a lot of people really strongly against what I was saying. And what I noticed two particular things. One thing that people believed certain things about continuous delivery that were not true. And there are three myths that now we're going to bust in a while. And the second thing was that the people really thought that continuous delivery was all about automation. Now, what I want to try to explain to you today, that continuous delivery is not all about automation, and there is a lot more to it. So, first of all, let's look at the Wikipedia definition of continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is a software engineering approach in which teams produce software in short cycles, ensuring that the software can be reliably released at any time. It aims at building, testing, and releasing software faster and more frequently. Wikipedia. So, seems quite simple. I noticed that a lot of people take from this is faster. I don't have time to test. It's not exactly like that. It's not exactly like that. So now, for my 35 seconds tutorial on what continuous delivery is, this is a continuous delivery pipeline, and basically shows very, very basic how it works. A developer checks in some code, the version control system, the code builds, and unit tests are run. Then the automated acceptance tests are run. User acceptance tests, then user acceptance tests are run. Normally, would be manual tests. You don't do user acceptance tests if it's not human intervention. And then there is an approval, and it goes to production. And this shows you how you can do what you want to take. The key from the definition is that the software can be reliably released at any time. Any time that you do a check-in, you must be able to release it if you want to. You don't have to, but you cannot do, this works a little bit, but I cannot merge it in production. There is only one base that is master, where all the code is. And also it tells you that faster and more frequently. So people say, how can we do this? We normally need a good time to test off and make them work before we can go to production. Okay. So some of the myths I was telling you about. So a lot of the people that contacted me after I wrote that blog, they were saying things like, continuous delivery can work only for websites. It does not work for complex things. The things I work on are complex. Okay. Another objection was continuous delivery does not work in regulated industries. Only if if you're not regulated, then it's fine. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Let's see. Then another thing was that teams that do continuous delivery are very buggy software. That was what I was hearing from people while I was trying to share my experience in continuous delivery. So let's have a look at one by one these ones. Myth number one: continuous delivery can work only for websites. It does not work for complex systems. So do you guys? Don't be shy. Do you guys think that's true? Who thinks it's true? Nobody's going to say they think it's true. Okay, it doesn't matter. Everybody thought it was true, but no, not everybody. A lot of people do strongly believe that this can only happen with really simple things. Okay. Facebook. Facebook is a website, yes. But do you think that Facebook is only a website? Do you think that the application you are currently working on is more complex than Facebook? Who thinks it's more complex? One. No, don't be shy. No, Facebook is not the most complex, right? Go. If you think yours is more complex, yeah. There is a few, yeah. Okay. How about Amazon? And I'm not talking about Amazon.com, the bookshop, ex-bookshop now sells everything. That is already more complex than 99.999999999 of the things I've ever worked in my life combined. I'm talking also about Amazon Web Services. I don't know, you guys who has heard about Amazon Web Services? Okay, so Amazon Web Services is a cloud-based system that allows you to do everything without owning a server. When I say everything, and actually does it much better than when you own your own server. But it's extremely complex. It's an extremely complex system. Then another one, Google. Now, these three organizations, companies, have one thing in common. They do continuous delivery. Okay? So I would say that their systems are, who thinks is more, works on a system more complex than Amazon Web Services? One. Okay, now I'll talk to you later. I think we can do continuous delivery in your system too, but let's see. Okay, so a lot of the people I talk to, but it's a bias that we all have. We all see our system very in detail, and we see all the complexity and the intricacies, and we all become convinced that what we do is actually the most complex thing in the world. So the people I talk to, and when they say that does not work for complex systems, they're either lying or they're working for some thing that, I don't know, they're trying to go to Mars and back in 2 seconds. I don't know. So let's say that the myth that continuous delivery can work only for websites does not work for complex system is busted. That's number one. The second one, only in non-regulated industries. Now, this is going to be very quick. That, to me, until the last time I checked, was a bank, and it uses continuous delivery. Then, if you want to go to another regulated industry that maybe you think it's not that complex, but it is, it's the automotive industry. Do you reckon it's regulated? Yes, because people drive cars, can crash and die. And do you know that the Tesla updates happen while you're driving? You don't have to stop. You can drive, you can be reversing, you can be 100 miles an hour. The updates happen in the software, and your system, your car don't even notice. Okay, so this is another example of a very complex system that was also heavily regulated that uses continuous delivery. Now, just to go back to one of the examples I saw before. Okay, let's go forward. So, busted, regulated industry, you can, certainly you can. The third myth is that teams that do continuous delivery have very buggy software. Maybe, let's have a look. Now, don't take my word for it, and we cannot go and look into each of the companies that do this. But if we look at one report created by Puppet, that is a software company that produces tools for automation, to which I'm not associated. In the State of DevOps report, they publish some interesting facts. One of this is that high performers, people that do continuous delivery, delivering multiple times a day, that's what they consider high performers, spend 22% less time on unplanned work and rework. Unplanned work sound to me like a bug, because unless you guys plan a bug, you guys ever plan a bug? Okay, let's try this bug. There you go. So this is the first thing. Then there is another thing. It's actually more interesting now. I'm not going to read everything, but it shows 3 categories. High performers, they're the ones that on-demand release, multiple deploys per day. Medium, between once per week and once per month. And low IT performance, between once per month and once every 6 months. Now, the number we're going to look at is change failure rate. You see the last line there? So we see that for low IT performance, from 16 to 30% of the change fail. For medium, 31 to 45%. It's actually going back, you see? there is a transition between becoming very good at continuous delivery and being in between that is really dangerous. It needs to happen, but it's a critical point. But then I covered that. So what do you guess the percentage of change failure is for companies that do releases every day, multiple times a day? Say a number. Say again? 5%. 15. Anybody else? Look, if you look at this, it's going up from the really bad of 16, 30, 31, 45. It could be higher. I don't know. Try. Say again. 15. Okay. Look, you guys are very, very good. You probably have read this this report, and you're basically cheating. And it says 0 to 15%. So if our change failure rate is 0 to 15% compared to these other numbers, the fact that teams that do continuous delivery have very buggy software is another busted myth. Okay, so these are the first three things. Maybe we start looking at the continuous delivery with a different different approach. Now, I want you guys to do something because now it's after lunch. If I talk for 45 minutes, you're going to be asleep. I guarantee, right? Now, you do something. You pick two people next to you, do a little circle, and have a conversation. Each of you tell the other two, why do you think that the organization might want to try to use continuous delivery? And then have a conversation, and then come up with the idea that you guys like the most. I'll give you 3 minutes starting now. Go. Come on, guys. Don't make me go there and pull you together. So, 15 minutes, perfect. Sorry, could you put back the... There you go. You're welcome. Oh, I'm here. Ha. Time is up. Okay. No. Okay. Okay, so I would like one volunteer, please, to tell me what's your answer? Do you have a volunteer? Do I have to start picking people? There you go, sir. Yes, sir.
You can just throw me the prize. To deliver value to our customers faster.
Faster. Excellent. Deliver value. That's a very important word. Who else? Yes, the lady down there.
Yeah, so maybe it's similar to that one, but actually, I think it's to deliver like you have bugs or you develop new features that will make our software better, and if you like, for your all users will like it best, and we want to deliver a stuff once we have it fixed or we have it developed, we want it to go to our end users. Right?
Okay. So you want to give to your end user the value early, soon, and you also want to give your end user a better quality delivery. Okay, excellent. Yes,
Fast feedback.
fast feedback. That's very, very, very important. Why do we need fast feedback? We need fast feedback to make decisions. Making decision is half of the battle. Next. Yes.
Yes. Also, I think that if your company or if your R&D department is really huge, like I don't know, hundreds of developers, the continuous delivery is something like immediate. You need to coordinate all your activities somehow. So the properly configured continuous delivery, it's the only solution, I guess.
Excellent, excellent. So you say it's a matter of governance. You are able, by using continuous delivery, have an automated environment where everything is auditable and controllable. That's another very good answer. Another answer. Okay, okay. So we touched some very good points, extremely good points. Now I'm going to show you what an ex-colleague of mine discovered when he made this research and he published this paper. Now let me read here, I'm a bit blind. Okay, his name is Lianping Chen, and he published this Continuous Delivery, Huge Benefits but Challenges Too, that was published onto the IEEE Software magazine in March 2015. And some of the benefits that he found out that the companies wanted to obtain was accelerated time to market, building the right product, that's through the feedback, improved productivity and efficiency, reliable releases, improved product quality, improved customer satisfaction. So these are the benefits, and this is what companies want from me. And my experience is that, yes, you can get there. You guys had very much touched quite a few of these ones. I'm happy to see that lately, actually, in the last year or so, there is more understanding of what continuous delivery is and where it's going. So we're on the right path, I believe. So the other thing that came out from the feedback I received to my blog post was that people basically were saying, yeah, continuous delivery, no, what you do is wrong. Continuous delivery everything is automated. Okay. Continuous delivery, people say, yeah, but testers, there's no testers in continuous delivery. The developers do the testing. Other people would say, there's no testing in continuous delivery, right? It can't work. A lot of people can't work. It's not possible. Okay. I don't think, well, I'm 100% sure it's not all about automation. There is a lot of automation, but what makes continuous delivery successful in an environment is the people behind it and the way that the people communicate behind it. Let's have a look at this. So I'll tell you a story. I don't know. First, I want to ask you a question. Is gambling legal in Lithuania? Yes. Okay. Thank God. Once I did, I was talking about this company in another nation where it was illegal, and I felt, oh God, I'm here, not promoting, but talking about something that is I should go to jail for. So gambling is legal. Excellent. So I used to work for a company in Ireland, where I've been based for the last 20 years. This company is called Paddy Power. I don't know if you heard it because it's not here. Anybody heard Paddy Power? Yeah? Okay. Somebody from the UK? Yeah? People in the UK would know, yeah? So just to give you an idea of the size, but the power, when I left in 2016, had more or less 500 people in technology. So it was not massive, but was not the smallest. Obviously, technology involved these 500 people. Then there were a lot of other people in it. The day when we did the Grand National, that is a horse race, that is the horse race that everybody watches in the UK and in Ireland. And even if you never bet, you're not a gambler, but apparently families go around, they give €1, the kids give €1 to the father, and they put a bet on a horse. It's a kind of a tradition. So everybody watches the Grand National, and at a certain point, we had 250,000 people connected at the same time. And we had something like 30,000 bets per minute. So just to tell you that was not a simple website. Okay. Okay. So the 15 minutes I show you is 15 minutes left, or okay. Let's go then. So first I need to tell you this. I'll tell you the story how we transform Paddy Power into a high-performing continuous delivery organization. I will tell you what I learned from it. I will not tell you this is how you have to do it. This is very important. Okay. This is not a recipe. This is one way that can work for testers. This is one of the options. And obviously, I hope that you'll find something that is useful for you. So, before and after, let's start. When I arrived there in 2012, the teams released once every 2 months. There were multiple issues every release, and customers were angry at development teams sending threatening mails. It was bad. The first release we did, we had 24 production issues as soon as the stuff went out. Obviously, developers working night and day to fix this. When I left, after we have made all these changes, and you see there, the results started to be very, very evident in 2014. The teams released multiple times a day. There were a total of 2 issues in 2014. Customers were actively involved helping development teams. So you can see this is not change of, we use a tool. It's a massive change. It's complete, enormous transformation. It's not something that happens in a day. It's not something that happens with one tool or one automation tool. It's something that happens day by day for years. It's a small change every day. So the first thing I saw when I arrived was an organization like this. Now I simplified it. There was the big circle with the 4 teams. That was what they called the development. So there were these Scrum teams with developers, and the Scrum Master is red. Developers are blue. And then there was a BA team with the BA lead and the 4 BAs. Then there was a poor person in the single circle there. You see the most unlucky person there, the black one? And she has a skirt because it was a girl, so I actually wanted to make sure that she knows it's her. And the poor girl was the automation tester. And this was only 4 teams, right? But there were 8 teams, okay? So you can imagine that poor person, she obviously was in no condition to succeed. Then on a different floor, they had the product team. These people only interacted with the team either by documents or coming downstairs to give out to us. Say, what's this? This doesn't work, etc. And then there was IT, there was the system engineers. The guys that were giving out to us for other reason was that we were releasing stuff and we were breaking the production. That we were not allowed to release to production because we were breaking all the time. It was not fun. So the first thing that worked for us was organize the teams in teams that included all the skills and all the different roles. We had these teams where we had developer, tester, leader, system engineer, business analyst, product owner, and that's it, everybody. So there was everybody that we needed for envisioning, analyzing, developing, testing, releasing, maintaining software. There was all in there. There was no fights between the different teams. There was nobody coming from upstairs giving out to us, nobody coming from downstairs giving out to us. First team was creating real cross-functional teams. So now, this is a quiz. Now, as we have 15 minutes, it's going to be very quickly. Now, 2014, we had 8 teams with 50 developers, 8 BAs, 8 product owners, and 8 system engineers. How many testers did we have? Yeah? 1. No, okay, that's an answer, yeah? 2, yeah? Not enough. That's a good answer. 8, okay. 50. Okay, so there is 2 acceptable answers to this. Nobody won. Thank God, because I don't have a prize. And there is 3, because there were actually 3 testers, and don't shoot yet. Or 77, because everybody was a tester. All the people that worked there were thinking about quality. So let's see what I'm talking about here. Quality became the priority for everybody. The tester was not the person that needed to test stuff. Everybody needed to start looking at new ways to make sure that we weren't releasing garbage. Okay? Everybody. So that's where we started shifting left some of the activities and shifting right some other activities and improving what we were doing in the center. What we were doing was we were doing exploratory testing for a huge amount of time because the code was a disaster. We received absolute disastrous stuff. And obviously, testing stuff doesn't improve it unless you fix it and fix it and fix it. And this was never improving anything. So what we need to do, we need to get everybody to start thinking about quality code instead of trying to build something and then get the stuff, remove the bugs after. So when we shifted left, we started looking at these activities. Reduce complexity. So I'll give you an example for this and not for all of them. There is a very simple way of saying, listen, to reduce complexity, you cannot have a method more than 10 lines. If it's longer than 10 lines, it's too complex, you have to break it down. If a method has cyclomatic complexity more than 5, it's too big, break it down. This way, we reduce a lot of the bugs that we were introducing before. Then we start using BDD with the 3 Amigo sessions, collaboration, test automation, obviously, pair programming, code reviews, mob programming. So this shift left, why is it? It's before the code is actually executed to test it, right? As we know it. Then more shift left activities. Impact mapping. Do you know what it is? If you don't, have a look at it. Helps identify what you really need to build. Because one of the worst things to do is to write a lot of stuff and nobody uses. Because obviously that stuff that nobody uses will have a lot of bugs and you'll have to fix it. And will create a lot of work. Improve testability, that was an extremely important effort because our test automation didn't work because the system wasn't built for being testable. So that was a very important thing to do. Reduce multitasking through working process limits. Design for resilience, design for availability and performance. What am I talking about here? If you are testing for performance, you're already late. If you need to start thinking about designing a performance system. Performance testing sometimes is one of the most expensive things that we can do. And when we find a problem, it's very, very difficult to fix it if we haven't thought about it before. So this was everything that happened before. We actually had some code to test. Then the center. We took exploratory testing we were doing and we involved the developers to do it with us. And that helped a lot. We involved the developers, we involved the BAs, we involved the product owners, the system engineers. Everybody understood and they started learning what exploratory testing was. They didn't know before. They thought that we were clicking buttons. Okay. Then, on the right side, after we deploy the system, do you think testing is finished? Not at all. We implemented very accurate monitoring of what the customer were doing with the product through logging, alerting, and the heat maps. This was very useful to understand what people weren't using, and we needed to stop building on top of it and creating a lot of work. Analyzing customer feedback for future products. We started tracing what the customer were doing, and that gave us a lot of clues on what we should have built after. All these activities require testing skills. Testers are brilliant at this stuff. Testers are brilliant at identifying experiments that you can run with your customer to find out something. Because that's what we do with our software, and we can do it with our customers. That's the right side of the shifting. Canary releases, I don't know, do you know what canary release is? Yeah, you basically, in the mines, there was a canary that would die if there was something going on, if the air wasn't breathable, so the people would run away. So canary release is you deliver software to only a subsection of your customers that you target specifically, so that you don't want to kill them. But if something goes wrong, you're not crippling your company, and you can get feedback from that. Okay, so you might ask, how did 3 testers manage to do all this? I have 5 minutes. This is really late now. Okay, you know why? Because people after lunch. But we will go through this. So how did we do this? Okay, the testers became coach, mentor, and trainer. The testers could not test everything. Think about 8 teams. Think about 50 developers. 3 testers will never be able to do it. But working with the other people in those activities, spreading the activities and doing them collaboratively, that's how we managed to do it. So the testers became mainly people advising and helping the other guys run testing, run quality assurance, run all the activities that allowed us to do something of good quality. We strived, first of all, to become T-shaped. Now, T-shaped means this. If I'm a tester, I've been a tester for, say, 20 years, so I have a strong testing body here, right? I'm really, really good. I'm very good at testing. But then I don't know anything else. Instead, if I start learning a little bit of development and a bit of analysis, sooner or later, I'll become somebody that has some abilities in analysis and development. I'll be able to collaborate better with my colleagues. I'll be able to support my team much better. I will coach my team in the testing. I'll coach developers, I'll coach product owners, and I will support them with the activities that I grow. And a T-shaped tester is extremely useful and valuable for working in a context where you need to coach a team. So we strive to get there, we try to do there, but basically the biggest challenge, now I'm gonna fly through it. The biggest challenge was the communication became the most important thing, because now we were talking to all sorts of people. We're talking to managers, we're talking to developers, we're talking to BAs, we're talking to system engineers, we're talking to customers. And obviously, to do that, you need different skills than talking to your teammates in your test team. Okay? You need to be able to switch different languages, etc. So that's what I just said. We fly through. What skills did we work on? So I'll give you these 3: active listening, empathy, influencing. Now we're going to be very quickly. Active listening, listen to somebody what is trying to say. Don't start thinking about what I'm going to say back. What's my answer? Your answer is not important. Listen to what somebody is saying. Paraphrase it for him. Reinforce with him that you understood what he said. At that point, it will be much easier to deal with this person. This person will understand that we are listening. Testers very often are just too ready to go and find the fault. Wait, listen, listen. Empathy, so we skip past the list, I described it. One exercise that you can do to improve your active listening is Link Coffee. Link Coffee is a collaborative meeting format where the agenda comes out from the people, and the people share. Everybody gets to say something, and that'll help you train your active listening. Google it. It's very easy to do. You can organize it in your work. You can run. I run most of my meetings through Link Coffee sessions. Empathy. You know what empathy is? Perspective taking. Why is that person angry at me? Let me think. What did I do? Or why is the manager really upset? I need to fly now. So let's start to try to think in their to see through their own eyes, to understand exactly what they're trying to ask us. So, and share our acknowledgement. If we do this, people will be much more willing to work with us, and we'll be able to work in a collaborative environment. And then this is very important. You need to be able to rejoice for other people's success. Success is not finding a bug. Success is the team being successful. This is very important. Are we ready to do that? If you want to work in a collaborative environment and you need to be an integral part of the team, we need to be able to say, yes, we didn't find anything and we went in quickly. It's important. Okay, so very, very good it is all very good, but do we know how to do this? Look at some of the salesmen. Salesmen are people that influence other people, influence you into buy stuff. So I looked at some of the skills. Know your customer. Use different words if you're talking to a manager, or if you're talking to a developer, or to a system engineer, or product owner. For the same concept, use absolutely different words and tell them think about what they really care, and then use your influencing skills using what they really care. Now we have to skip because we're finishing. Involve all the people. Now we created a testing community of practice, open to all the company, and we found out that there were a lot of developers, a lot of innovation was created there. And can you do it? I'm sure you can. To finish, deliver fast, deliver often, but most of all, have fun. Thank you.